And cue Richard. Cue Richard!
Sorry, I was having a bit of trouble getting the ump on.
No, you idiot. It's now is the winter of our discontent. Can't you do anything right? No, wrong play. Start again.
Go on. Go on. Go on.
Wait, man, I haven't murdered anyone yet.
Go on.
Ah! Oh, discontent.
Don't forget, everybody's doing you a big favour. Julia, Lauren.
Yeah, I kind of gathered that from the 100 times you said it last night.
And what are you doing about your appearance?
What I always do.
I've asked you to tone it down.
First impressions are important.
Too late for that. They already know me.
Me and your dad thought we knew you as well.
Just remember, you're representing me at the mill.
Meaning?
Meaning,
Don't let me down.
again.
Mr. Dudley? Ah, here she is, my little worker bee.
Raring to go, just tell me where you want me.
Well, actually, would you be a star and make me a coffee? I'm literally dying here.
Sure. How do you...
Half and half mocha chocolate with whipped cream, chocolate sprinkles served by topless waiter. Your face. Black with one sweetener, please.
Coming up.
Because if I don't watch my figure, no one else will.
Okay, this is just to check my progress. It's not for YouTube or anything.
Oh, I'm a drama student at the uni. I'm used to an audience.
Right, so you've been using the cream for a month with no significant improvement.
If anything, it's getting worse. Do you reckon it could be stress-related?
Some skin conditions are. Are you stressed at the moment?
Final week of rehearsals for a play we're taking to the Edinburgh Fringe. Richard III, and against all odds, I've been given the lead.
Wow.
Yeah, the director's pretty radical. She's turned the old text on its head.
Okay.
She's brought out a strong feminist angle, attacking the masculine bias of royalty.
That sounds interesting. Have you got symptoms anywhere else?
On my shoulder.
Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, I think we need to give that another month.
Well, that's it.
Keep a note of your diet. This could be another allergic reaction to something. If we can chart the days when it's worse, then we'll see some kind of pattern. Are you using much stage makeup?
Oh, I'm ahead of you there. I've got a washing powder allergy, so I use hypoallergenic stuff. Costs a fortune, but it's worth it.
Befitting a king, even if he is a nasty one.
There's a lot of evidence suggesting Richard wasn't as bad as he's portrayed. We almost cast a woman in that role to explore the point.
Rachel III. Oh, it's good enough for Helen Mirren.
But men played all women's parts in Shakespeare's day. Women were forbidden to perform.
Not anything to do with the fact that the men couldn't hack the competition.
Well, women weren't allowed to be apothecaries back then either.
No, just wet nurses and midwives. Things changed.
Not always for the better.
Do you think you'd get on better with your director if she didn't have a set of these?
I'm not a chauvinist, I promise. I'm not. I don't get what we're doing in rehearsal sometimes.
Whoops.
Have you seen my car, Lauren?
It's in the car park, isn't it?
No. That's my baby there. Worth the extra insurance premiums to get into something that classy, eh? Oh, Cherry, I was just showing Lauren my,
Your equipment, yes. Could he be any more obvious?
Kevin, what about?
About what pushes his buttons.
All phones have touchscreens these days, don't they?
Annie?
I got your message. Are you okay to go on?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Worried about my leading man.
Sorry. Annie Morris, right?
Have we met?
No, I saw your production of Blithe Spirit last year and I thought it was really great.
Thanks.
I'm Freya Wilson. The way that you brought out women in the production, it was fantastic.
One frank female. You drummed up a lot of interest writing about us. Thanks.
You follow my blog.
Absolutely. You're a very perceptive writer. Are you coming to see Philip in all his glory?
Edinburgh's a bit of a stretch for me.
We're doing a full dress this afternoon at the campus theatre. You could even write something, perhaps.
Are you sure it's ready?
I would really love to, but I don't know the play.
There's a synopsis at the front. You'd really be helping us. Please?
You must be Lauren.
And you are?
Jack Hollings.
Karen's son.
Just stop by to see how Amy's getting on her first day. Wave the family flag, you know.
She's kind of tied up at the moment, so will I do?
Will you do what?
I don't think your mother would like the way you're talking in her reception.
No? Where can I talk to you like that?
Well,
Right, sis, how's it going?
I'm busy, what do you want?
Just stop by, say hello, you know. No biggie.
so what do you get up to when you're not checking up on your little sister then?
Are you sure you're okay?
Yep, ready to storm the ramparts.
I want a crisp, confident performance. Channel your feelings.
Yeah, I know. And I was wondering if we could...
Sorry, I'm late. Oh, mighty leader, my squash court booking got changed.
Maybe you could leave off the sport for a while.
It won't happen again, I promise.
I mean for the sake of the character. Richard's the one everyone expects to be hampered with deformity, not Richmond. If you injure yourself...
Oh yeah, how are the deformities, your highness? Still scratching?
Yeah, you just worry about the fight in the last act, okay?
Ooh, too quick with my thrusting blade sometimes, am I?
Come on, boys. Don't lose the tension before the start.
Yeah, save the nasty for the performance. If you can keep up with me.
That stock but stinks.
Oh, hot and bothered. I won't make you a coffee then. Did you check all the files Mrs. Tenby indicated in her notes?
Just the annual ones.
Would you do the others too? Then we can really hit the ground running.
Sure.
It's all in the preparation, you'll see.
Hey, how's the battle with the admin beast going? Amy being Robin to your Batman.
Oh, I don't know where I'd be without her, seriously. Love the suit, by the way. Fits in all the right places.
Catwoman, more like.
Sorry?
I said, would you like your coffee white?
No, I think I fancy something cold.
I think we need to give that another month. What was it? A note for diet.
He does seem a little defensive.
Although he did back off after Annie Morris invited me to come and watch. This is really violent.
The histories generally are.
I prefer characters like Viola and Rosalind, you know, in the comedies. Women who broke down gender stereotypes.
Aren't we getting a little off message here?
No. I think that this is what is really stressing Philip out and aggravating his condition. She's given the play a whole feminist angle.
And that's wrong, in his opinion.
But he's wrong. It's kind of what Shakespeare was all about.
Because Viola and Rosalind broke down stereotypes, as you put it.
Right.
Right on, more like. Their central message was about dressing up as a man in order to get your man, hardly burning your bra stuff.
She's an interesting director in her own right. Really up and coming, you know.
Bit of a fan. So, you don't want to let yourself down in front of her. Right. Crash course, the histories. Generally, they're about men striding onto the stage, shouting a bit, and then either dying or striding off again. Don't sweat the finer points.
Maybe I shouldn't go.
Well, go if you want to. The question you have to ask yourself is whether your patient's anxiety is going to be helped if he thinks you're there to criticise him. Oh, and by the way, drawing attention to your breasts during a consultation? Generally frowned upon.
Why, this it is when men are ruled by women. It is not the king that condemns... No. It is not the king that sends you to the tower. It is not the king that sends you to the tower.
You haven't stopped all morning.
Just when I think I'm getting on top of it.
Ah, medical paperwork. It multiplies when you're not looking. Didn't anyone tell you?
You know those files I mentioned for cross-referencing? They were in Julia's office.
Can't believe how much you've managed already.
Well, I can't take all the credit. You're a treasure for carrying them.
Well, how about lunch? You know, sort of welcome you to the team now you settled in. My treat.
I'm supposed to be working through. I'm exhausted already.
Then you need a proper break. Recharge those batteries.
Well, when you say it like that, Dr. Tyler, it's very tempting. Maybe a quick bite.
It's Kev. There it is.
Laters.
So what do you fancy?
Greek salad, no dressing, mineral water, please.
Sure. Jimmy? Out of a lasagna and orange juice.
Bring him out.
Quiet in here.
Suits me.
Something wrong? Because you seem a bit, off.
Long morning. I had 2 cases of the bubonic plague and a machine gun wielding baboon. What the odds?
Amazing.
I've been thinking, if I go, will you come with me?
To an Amdram performance of Tricky Dicky? I'd rather go to Bikini Wax.
But see, you're all clued up. You can throw out sound bites like that, Tricky Dicky.
Why are you obsessing about this?
I'm not.
If you're so keen to impress your new feminist BFF, go.
I don't need to impress anyone.
No, you just don't want anyone to think you're out of your depth. Least of all, yourself.
Now is the winter of our discontent. Red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry.
Don't screw up. I know it's only the dress, but
Listening.
I just think it's about time you strapped on a little bit more than just a hump, you know?
Edinburgh's my big chance as well. All the potential agents and casting directors in the audience.
You've got a way to go, yeah, but Annie, she's the real high flyer, and I'm definitely not averse to hitching myself to a rising star. Although...
Yuck, what?
Well, she did pick you as her lead, didn't she? Still, no one's perfect, eh? Break a leg. Please.
So if we go for a spring wedding, we could deck the whole church out in daffodils.
Mm-hmm.
To match the buttonholes and your bouquet. Or we could have leeks and daffodils in your bouquet. What's wrong?
Nothing.
Okay, well, I've just suggested that you walk down the aisle with leeks and you're not even bothered, so don't tell me nothing.
And Sue, we need that fanfare cue as soon as Buckingham exits. We're still late going into the next scene.
Okay, got it.
Great, you made it.
Thanks for the invite.
You're very welcome. It's going to be brilliant.
So I have been wondering, how are you making the feminist angle come across?
You'll see.
Well, you've got some of the women playing the male roles, right?
No. Come and sit by me. Okay, everyone, 5 minutes.
Because I look stupid, that's why.
I'd never think that.
Jimmy, just forget it.
Cherry!
It's Lauren, okay? Uh-oh.
What about it?
It's the way that you look at her, mentally undressing her right in front of me.
Well, I should tell you how silly this is. So are you telling me that since we've been engaged that you've never looked at another man?
Oh, don't answer that.
Do you mind?
Do you think if I fancied my chances with her, it'd be that obvious?
Then why lure her every time you see her?
Because she's young and she's thin and she flirts. Of course he's going to gape.
Thanks, not helping.
Every man in this building has mentally undressed her. Big whoop, fine. And much as you're going to fall off your little pink matrimony pony, I am not a fan of rubbernecking.
Zara's right, it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, great, use her as your moral compass.
So you think what? I'm just stringing you along?
Jimmy, you've had a lot of serious relationships, especially Eva.
Oh, no, it's okay.
Are you going to be happy settling for someone like me?
I'm not settling.
Okay, Jimmy, tell me honestly. If Eva was still alive, would you still be with her?
That is the dumbest thing you've said.
And when you're ready.
Now is the winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by the son of York. And all the clouds that lowered upon our house, in the deep bosom of the ocean buried, now are our brows bound.
Come on, Annie, we've got to put a stop to this. It's more like ridiculous, the third.
Annie, I really think...
With victorious wreaths, our bruised arms.
I can't help it, Jimmy. I feel insecure. I hate the fact that this brings out the worst in me.
Yeah, you're right, it does.
So I do have faults.
Yes, exactly like the rest of us.
Don't shout.
Do you know what the worst fault is?
That I love you too much.
You don't know the man you're going to marry if you think that I'm that shallow.
I know that he won't want to marry me if all he does is bring out my insecurities. I'm worried that another Eva's going to come along and I'm just going to be some stupid memory that you'd rather forget.
Another Eva did come along, you.
Great, so I'm just some substitute. I can't believe that it's not Eva.
Oh, don't be such a div.
Well, that's what you've gone for. A bunny boiling div.
Fine, then you'll be Mrs. Bunny Boiling Div Clay. And there'll be a hyphen in there somewhere. We'll work it out.
I wish I could feel different.
Come here.
My rash is on
He's
fire.
reducing
Right,
his
that these
role to
ribbons are out, they're itchy.
He's got no backbone.
We talked about channeling all this into your portrayal.
You're gonna have to make a decision.
I'm not changing the cast. I've invested too much. Philip, and only Philip, will play Richard.
But he's playing him as Mr. Bean.
Oh, get off my back, will you?
I've worked too hard to let your ego destroy everything. Make an effort. Go and see if you can help him. I thought the unresolved sexual tension between them might help.
They can't stand the sight of each other.
Might do Richard's complexion no end of good.
He says he needs to refocus.
Okay, everyone, we'll break for 15.
This is all gonna come crashing down around your ears. But hey, you're the boss.
I need to take another look at him.
I'm not sure there's time. Philip?
Come to have another laugh at the costume.
It was a bit hippie, tricky, Dicky, but it looks right for the part. Something to do with a feminist plot angle.
All to do with Annie losing the plot.
Hey.
Well, it's getting worse.
Since this morning? Right, well, then something is definitely at work. Are you using hypoallergenic everything?
Yeah? My makeup. And my costume's perfume-free.
Are you sure?
No, it's been tampered with. Matt.
Good afternoon, Mill Health Centre.
Hey, Lauren, it's Karen. How's Amy doing?
You mean, is she pulling her weight, or did she spend all morning pretending to work when really she was texting her friends and zoning out her iPod?
Oh, please don't tell me she did that.
Hold on.
I haven't even stopped for lunch yet, oh ye of little faith.
Hey, I hope you're not talking to Lauren like that. She's got a busy reception to run as well as...
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Excuse me, Moustache, we're just giggling at your personnel file. I can't believe what age you put.
You dare!
That was mean.
So worth it. What's this?
Julia's just emailed some more file details to include. Would you mind? Mill Health Centre.
You have been bitching about me since day one. Trying to undermine me with the cast.
I haven't touched your precious stuff. You're paranoid. Do you want him to channel this into his performance too?
Feed it back like we discussed. It's only right that you feel threatened. We've been building on this all through the rehearsal, but keep going.
Yeah, but he's not wrong to feel paranoid, is he? I mean, someone has been tampering with his costume and makeup.
See? Expert witness.
And this isn't imaginary, and it's a stupid thing to do.
It's not me.
Perhaps you should go. We need to work on this.
Perhaps you should find out who's doing this, because it's sabotaging your whole production.
It'll be fine.
It's you.
What?
You did it.
Right. Of course, you keep talking about how he should channel all of this into his portrayal and how it's okay to feel threatened when that's what you want him to feel. You've totally manipulated him.
Annie?
Well, are you going to let Matt take the blame? Will that give the play more passion? Or do you just get kicks and putting men down?
Hey, you not had a proper break yet?
No, I don't mind. I've got to make a good impression anyway.
Well, I always keep a few spare emergency sugar fix.
Oh, thanks.
So who are you trying to impress then? Your mum, Julia, or the slave driver?
I'm sure doing all of this work for Mrs. Tenby would have been much harder.
Yeah, but I bet Mrs. Tenby would have helped you every chance that she got.
I was reading about actors who deliberately had something uncomfortable about their costume because it informed their characters. Shoes that were too small, rough patches of fabric.
They did that by their own choice.
Would you have agreed to it?
I would have trusted you. Thought you had faith in me.
I do, but I realised you were so much better. Gave an edgier performance when you were a little off balance.
So even the costume was about making me uncomfortable.
Not just you.
Do you have any idea how damaging this could have been in the long run?
It was a device, okay? You got too relaxed in the role, and Matt creating tension just wasn't enough.
Deliberately?
Don't flatter yourself. We were both being used.
Well, it was thoughtless. And it was cruel and it wasn't creative at all. I mean, do you have any idea how bad I've got?
No, and I'm sorry. I really am. But I wanted the best out of you I could.
With an attitude like that, you should be doing Macbeth.
No, it's unlucky to say Macbeth in the theatre.
I think you passed unlucky a while back, love.
You pitted us against each other from the start. Suggested that we alternate roles so that we could both get a chance at Richard.
It's too cosy. Not enough tension. Anyway, it felt like the boys were ganging up on me. There's only one captain to a ship.
Divide and conquer. No, I trusted you with your director's vision, and look where that got me.
Philip!
Look, you know what? Go with your first instinct. Get a woman to play him, and if you have any trouble with the casting, then look in the mirror.
Three weeks dressed like Barbara Cartland's bedroom. What a waste.
Doesn't have to be.
What?
Well, we can still go to Edinburgh. Do a two-hander without Annie. We'll play all the roles. We'll swap, do some improv.
Yeah, get rid of some of the tat.
Yeah, I'll direct. Bring back some masculine energy.
No, you stick with Richard. You're not that bad, really.
So you can be here by 7. Great. We can start blocking out. Yeah, see you. Well, that's something. A friend can step in.
Show must go on.
It's not just about Philip, or Matt, or even me. There's a whole cast and crew who've worked too hard to just abandon this. None of this will make it into your blog, will it?
Couldn't have me letting the side down.
You must know what it's like. In a male-dominated profession, you do what you need to get a foothold. The pressure to prove yourself is...
Talent alone isn't enough.
As a female, you have to work twice as hard to get equal respect.
Did you use any of these mind games on the women in your cast? Yeah, I thought not. Equality doesn't even come into it. So, Dicky gets tricky on the rebound. She got one thing right, at least. Good on you. And, nice sept to your Majesty.
Fancy eating out tonight?
Guilty conscience?
Oh, Cherry, I can't spend my life reassuring you. You're making things too hard.
Me?
Yes, if you want fairy tale perfection.
I thought this was a fairy tale. Wedding, home, you.
Look, you kissed a frog, and he's still a frog. And that means you've signed up for a life of Welsh ribbit. See, love me, love my pants, just like I've got to deal with your doubts. We've got stuff we'll have to get through. We'll do it together, deal?
Deal.
Night, Jimmy.
Yeah, night, Lauren. Well, I was just saying goodnight. What, am I supposed to ignore her?
What's that?
It's a bag.
What's in it?
Sandwich.
There was a small discovery in the back garden. But there's nothing to be excited about.
I'm not. He's been taking pleasure in his time alone.
You've lost me, I'm afraid.